Roll call. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yes.
Hip Hop Anonymous. Yeah.
Was there a donation center for file name? Because it's like, we see the file name for like 5 seconds. and
Yeah,
that's it.
no, there was not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you said something about it would be kind of silly to do that, considering.
Might just do SJD key or something. All right, I'm ready. All right, who's on the timer? All right.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey, everybody.
The best
How are
practice
you?
file name. All right, ready on the timer? All right, in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this game was last run 3 years ago now?
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
I think so.
And it's a lot different than what it was then because of this guy right there actually running it. Especially in the later chapters. A lot of new stuff, better strategies in a lot of the rooms, dungeon rooms, that kind of thing. So what's going on here is that this game has a really weird mechanic in where you have to talk to a certain NPCs, especially here in the first town, Sea Island, to get the guy to move out of the way so you can actually enter the dungeon.
To give an overline of the story, you're on vacation on this island to visit your uncle, and when you get here, he's abducted, missing, and being all the responsible adults in the village that they are, they decide to send this teenager to go rescue him with absolutely nothing but a yo-yo as a weapon. So that's our mission.
But he's a star pitcher, so he knows how to use it.
Exactly.
I mean, yo-yos, baseballs, those are the same.
The kind of shtick in this game is everything has cola added to it in a lot of cases.
Yeah, like this town's Coral Cola.
And the old lady asks if he's from Americola.
Yep.
We'll get into more of these later on.
Mm-hmm.
And first dungeon.
Suddenly it looks different, right?
Yeah. This is a grid-based game, similar to Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda. Mike can only move in 4 directions. But there's a lot of tricks and such that let you attack multiple areas, that kind of thing.
As Zoda just showed off there in that last room, very expertly.
Yeah, what the main thing when you're running this game, what you want to do is you actually buffer your inputs throughout the entire run. Like this includes text, this includes, double hits on enemies. So everything you do, you want to say you want to do 2 hits on an enemy, you throw out a yo-yo, and immediately let go of the button and throw out and hold it down again during the animation of the first throw, and it'll automatically on the first frame throw out the yo-yo again. So everything in this game can be buffered ahead of time.
Yeah, and one of the times Zoda will actually use it in this dungeon, he'll have the fire power-up weapon, secondary weapon, and he'll enter a room and immediately be holding the B button while he enters the room, so that the moment that the next room loads, it's firing the fire, and it'll hit the first enemy in the room. So it's a lot of buffering, as Dark Teryx has said.
Yeah, other than that, so the only real main speed strat is when you're using the yo-yo, the closer to an enemy that you're standing, the less time it'll take for the firing animation to complete. So this slug right here, I wait until I'm right next to him to attack him because that's faster.
We're coming up on the first boss of this game. Don't get too attached to him.
He's an absolute jerk. He has huge RNG in his movements. He takes forever to kill.
Oh,
And he's
troll.
trolling me.
Oh, that troll.
Wow.
So this is the only real skip in the game, and as soon as he stops trolling, here we
There
go.
we go,
There it
all
is.
right.
And we just go by.
Use the iframes to walk through him.
If you
Snake's
jump,
still alive, but he has bone, like, tail. You know.
if you end up jumping on him before that, it's an instant kill. So you have to take damage from the fire that he shoots out. So if he doesn't shoot that out like the first 2 phases, then it just wastes time, unfortunately.
We have an $80 donation from Kimbo that says, "Greetings from Austria. Keep up the good work for a great cause." Thank you, Kimbo.
Babu!
You'll come to know that this entire plot is Babu's fault.
It is.
Yeah.
We blame
Babu.
Babu. Absolutely.
Anything goes wrong, it's his fault.
Then we have Rob the Robot piloting the submarine.
We come to hate him.
Yeah.
because- especially in Chapter
It's
5.
Chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
We
the
have
first chapter.
another donation from Arrow208, $20 donation that says, "Second donation today and love watching these guys do this. It is amazing. StarTropics is one of my fave games as a kid. Glad to see how fast it can be beat."
So
So
Zod actually
story-
tried a trick there, where he could bring the text box up earlier by, if you press select in the overworld, it tells you what chapter you're in. If he does that on the frame that the dolphin starts to come by, it actually initiates the text box sooner. It's a very minor time savings when you do it, but it's a cool little trick if you can get it, if you can pull it off.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's very little in the way of visual cues for that trick, especially if I'm playing on a TV that I've never seen before. So, the good news is you only lose like a quarter second if you don't get it, so carry on. The story right now, by the way, is this random dolphin stops you and says, "Go rescue my son," and unfortunately, you have absolutely no option other than to say yes.
It's a
one
but
of-
thou must.
It's one of those classic NES moments where they ask you a question, and if you answer no, they just ask you again. And if
Yeah.
you say no, they ask you again until you say yes.
But thou must, exactly.
The codes in this game are very America themed.
Yeah, this game was released in 1990, but it was only released in the US and in Europe. Never in Japan, but it was also made by the same team that made Punch-Out, so it's a little interesting that it only got released in some areas.
Dungeon 2. This dungeon introduces sinkhole mechanics.
Yep.
We'll see those very shortly. This game is, there it is. This game is very high on making you hate the game on various mechanics.
Yes.
It's very well designed in that case too. You know, if you're playing this blind, you're likely going to die several times to something you would not expect to come.
We didn't get the chance to show it, but in the first dungeon, there is one hidden room that has absolutely nothing but water in it.
Yeah,
And if you haven't already guessed by now, Mike can't swim.
yeah.
So that right there, while it may not look like it, is a very precise set of jumps to make it back before the block goes underwater again. So
And again, the reason that's possible is because we buffer all the jumps ahead of time. As we're landing on one jump, we can hold down the button to start the next one immediately to get that cycle in.
A complaint people will have about this game is that Mike feels clunky at times. If you learn how to play this game, he is not clunky at all. It's all skill on getting him to turn exactly the way you want, to have him move the way you want. When you get good at this game, it's like he's very intuitive on how Mike moves, how generally easy it is to control them, to get them to do specific tricks, to go really fast with them.
The reason most people say that is because, like, if you play Zelda, you can, you're on a grid, but you can still, move anywhere within the 4 directions. Whereas this one, it's like an actual grid. You have a set of area that you have to move to. So if you say hold right to move to the next, block to your right, you must move to that next square entirely. You can't just stop in the middle of it.
It was a good room.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky. Usually those Octos decide to run as far away from Mike as possible.
Yeah.
All right, this boss is RNG into when he comes down, so hopefully he comes down soon. Oh, that was
nice.
actually really good.
Yeah. And they use a lot of that attack buffering here to do a lot of damage really quickly while he's frozen and to one cycle him like that.
Yep. Very nice job.
For a second, I thought I wasn't going to get that.
So long, Octo the Huge.
Yep.
That is
Ripping
its name.
pepperonis.
And yeah, that was attack buffering. That wasn't actually mashing. If you try to mash on that fight, you won't be able to do him. You won't be able to kill him in one cycle because you'll miss a lot of inputs.
This game is very timing based. It's not mashing based at all.
That's why I wrote it, because I can't mash.
Yeah, same here.
Now, points in this game, it's kind of a very odd structure. You start every dungeon with, I can't remember the exact point total, but you start.
It's whatever 255 times 30 is, so the magic 8-bit number 255.
And every time you kill an enemy for each dungeon, each enemy has a value, and every time you kill that enemy, it drops your total value. So the more enemies you kill in a dungeon, the fewer points you end up getting. Which is, for a speedrun, it's irrelevant, but it's a really weird.
It's a weird system to go up for points.
Yeah, exactly.
For points. So you have to kind of do this game pacifist to get your highest score as much as possible.
Except there's one spot in Chapter 6 where I found that if you kill a couple of extra enemies, you get 30 extra points. So now we're just not sure.
Yeah.
we need to test it out and figure out exactly how the points work.
We have a $100 donation from Dabbits. Says StarTropics is by far my favorite game, and it's nice to see this classic being on SGDQ. Good luck with the run. Thank you, Dabbits, for that donation.
Now, Chapter 3 is the first chapter that has multiple dungeons within it. It's the one with the most dungeons in it. It has 5.
Yeah, 5.
Chapter 3 is where the gauntlet of this game actually begins. This game is actually pretty brutal.
Yeah, it scales really well. Like, it's very good on how it scales its difficulty. Goes to very easy to pretty hard within, 15 dungeons. That was not the great dodo pattern. Dodos and these monkeys, flying monkeys, are very random. Well, dodos aren't so much, but their beginning pattern is. And this is very random.
That was really
good. Good start, a good start here.
And this game is really cool in that it seemed to incorporate a new mechanic or two every time you enter a new chapter area. So it's like it doesn't throw too much at you at once. It's kind of like eases you into it, and then makes you hate life afterwards.
Now the new thing Zoda's doing from what I am doing is not getting as many hearts. Like when I was running this game, I would get hearts. Oh!
That was not supposed to happen. And no checkpoints, of course, so that's all right.
Yeah,
the nice thing about this game is it's completely marathon safe. Any deaths cost no more than like 3 minutes at the absolute max. That one was probably more like 1 minute.
And this dungeon being so small, it's like you said, there's no checkpoint. He's back at the beginning of the dungeon. But some of the bigger ones do have a couple of checkpoints in them. So it's not usually that big of a time loss like he was saying.
And on the bright side, you can see how random those rooms really are. That was nowhere near the same as the first time we did it.
Okay, this time done correctly.
We have a $50 donation from Cookie11 that says, thanks for running this marathon every year. Don't forget the secret StarTropics code.
Do we have the letter handy by chance?
I do not have it with me, but I do have it.
This game is notorious for being like the first true DRM. There's a code you have to put in. It's a 3-number code, and you have to put water on a piece of paper that came with a box to get that code. If you don't have it, well, then you have 1,000 possibilities you have to put in.
Yeah, so people that rented this game probably hated it because you never got the letter.
So unlike the first town, Coca-Cola, this one you actually have to talk to everybody with exception of the person that recovers your health. And we have this. Oh, that's bad luck.
Ooh,
there.
that is bad luck. That troll.
You actually have to say, because you have an option there to choose who Mike thinks is the cuter person, Miss Coral, her, or Miss or her, Miss Mira. And if you choose Miss Coca-Cola, she doesn't count as someone you've talked to,
Yeah,
so
she
you
gets mad at
can't
you.
open the hut. So you have to say she's cuter, or you cannot continue in this game.
Life lessons, kids.
Yeah.
We have a $35 donation from Sven Craig. It says, hey, Zodastone, it's great to see some StarTropics representation at a GDQ event. This is my all-time favorite game, and it needs more love. Keep me up to date on the planned SRL race. Also, shout out to Darkwing Duck. Here's hoping you serenade us at the end of Chapter 7. StarTropics 3 hype.
Nice.
I'm leaving that up to Zodastone, by the way. It's his run. He gets to choose.
It is a pretty tight song, though.
It is. Yeah, it's interesting that the game forces you to talk to the person who is in a coma
Yep.
Yeah.
before you can progress.
We have a $10 donation from Starkinator. It says, hello from Norway. I love the work you're doing for a great cause. My mom used to work with Doctors Without Borders, and they're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for your initiative and awesome stream. Thank you, Starkinator.
All right, this is one of my favorite dungeons.
Yeah, the boss mechanic's really cool in this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and the strat to go through it is great. I love it.
And this dungeon introduced, well, this chapter has been introducing the lights out in the dungeons here like this, so you can't see where you're going. They usually do provide a lantern item that you can light the rooms up with.
Or a
But-
light tile.
Yeah, or a light tile in that instance. Later on in Chapter 3, there will be rooms that don't have light tiles, but you can pick up the lantern object, like I said, to light the rooms. But we don't do that because, that you have to go out of your way for it.
That's slow.
It's an extra 3 rooms, and they have to walk back along the same path.
Yep, so it's just memorize where everything is.
You're gonna say 4 frames?
I'm
Yep.
gonna go for it.
You have
Yep.
to. There's no choice. You have to go for
You
it.
have to go for it.
got
Nice.
it,
There we
nice,
go.
all
There
right.
we go. Good.
So that's like I think a 2-frame window where I press right on pretty much the same time that I enter those stairs. If I miss it and go too early, then Mike just walks backwards and I lose like a second. So
But if you don't do it at all, then you have to turn around when you get down the stairs, and that takes a little extra time than spinning around when you hit the stairwell. So
That's a speedrun favorite. Ooh, that's bad luck there.
not much you can do about that.
Yeah,
Sometimes he just
yeah.
goes in the wrong spot.
That's a shout out to Tampa right there. Risk seconds to pick up frames.
yeah.
And probably my favorite boss that I ever learned right here. Learning how to do this properly.
Yeah, this is a fun fight. Well, it's not even really a fight, but fun boss.
The whoever decided to make this particular boss stand on a bunch of water, which he is weak to,
See,
probably wasn't thinking too hard.
well, I always like to think that maybe he was, like one of those bosses that, like, I don't know, he was on his like last chance. And,
Oh.
and so Zoda's like, you got to kill Mike, or you're just gonna be dropped in this water and you're done. And
We're gonna get it.
We
got
got
it
both
again.
of them. Wow.
All right.
2 out of 2 so far. There's one more in Chapter 5. That's about 20 minutes away.
So now we're going to do a little bit of a sequence break here. There's a little town coming up here that we're going to completely skip. We don't have to do it. We have to come back there at some point, but we go there just to find out that the fortune teller has lost her crystal ball, and we have to go find it in the graveyard. But we already know that since we've done this how many times now?
Right.
Thousands of times.
but
So
but the game doesn't require you to go there. Is basically what he's getting at. In order to know this, so you can just go straight here and get the crystal ball and save time.
We have a $10 donation from Quiet Kitten 81. It says, Quiet Kitten here. I am up way too early for StarTropics. A game just wants to say good luck on the run. Also, I wanted to say hi to Velociraptor 42. Have my money go to Runner's Choice.
Let's put it towards hard mode in Mega Man 10.
This is the bane of a lot. This is where difficulty really ramps up in this particular dungeon.
The thing with this dungeon casually is when you first play through it, you saw the room above this, or in the room above this one, there was an exit leading north, not south. And if you take that, it's actually a false exit to the dungeon, and they have like 7 of them in this dungeon.
Yeah.
So casually, you'll probably end up finding all of them before you find out where the real path is.
Exactly, and this dungeon incorporates invisible ghost enemies that you can only see if you've got a magic rod. And this room has a bunch of them in them.
4 moving horizontally.
And so Zodastone's doing specific pauses in his movement so that he avoids them.
Nice. Okay.
Very good.
And I actually did avoid them.
Yeah.
And thanks, Quiet Kitten. Thanks for the donation.
So are you gonna jump over this one? You are.
Yes.
There's a moving one there that's not a random jump. It's a jump to avoid a ghost.
If I had gotten hit there, I would have gotten down to 1.5 hearts. And as soon as you get to that range, the game starts making this annoying beeping low health sound. Although not nearly as annoying as StarTropics
No.
2's low health sound.
Right, but what makes it even more annoying is that every time you perform an input,
Yeah.
like a jump or a yo-yo throw, it beeps again. So
And
if Zoda's in low health and has to mash, or not mash, but like input buffer on an attack, you're just gonna hear beep, 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 beep a whole bunch, and it's annoying.
Okay. The important part about this particular room is that you can hear that doo-doo. There it is. There are 2 sinking tiles right there.
And
And right there. And if you do the same type of buffer and movement pattern, you'll always land on it when it's up. Oh, what a great pattern there.
Those guys where they pop up are completely RNG. He got an amazing pattern.
Fake boss right there.
Yep. Oh, that's not a good one dog pattern. Yeah, the killing enemies in this game is like you always you listen to how many hits you do, and you kind of subtract 1 from it because you're firing before you hear the hit. So it's just kind of weird when you're mashing to kill an enemy how you count for it.
And here Zoda's using that magic rod item I was talking about to make the invisible ghosts appear, because you have to actually kill them in these 2 rooms to progress. So.
And this right here is kind of a troll mechanic. You have to pick up those magic mirrors.
So yeah, this isn't Zelda at all with whiz robes and mirrors.
Ooh, that's a good pattern
was
right
good.
there.
That is a really good pattern.
Yeah.
So let's see.
And he
what
didn't
pattern-
even get any drops, so it didn't delay the next spawn.
See if these troll mummies give him a good pattern.
That was
Oh,
a great
very
pattern.
nice. That was a really good pattern.
A lot of people when they play this, when they're trying to learn it, think that's one of the more difficult rooms, just because they don't know which mummies to kill. All you have to do is keep track of the bottom 2 and not kill those ones.
Yeah, it's a weird mechanic because it's similar to only having to talk to a specific NPCs in towns. You only in some rooms you only have to kill specific enemies to get the door to open.
And here's the troll invisible boss.
Maxi.
So the goal for this boss fight is to leave with at least 2 hearts. That way, when you get to the next dungeon, you'll have your full 6 hearts. So we'll be getting a weapon here in the next back in that castle town we passed up. A more powerful weapon, but it requires you have 6 full hearts in order to use it. If you go below 6 hearts, you go back to the basic yo-yo.
4 is great though because he doesn't have to go out of his way 2 steps to get the second double heart.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This game enjoys its cutscenes.
Yeah.
This is one of those moments, first time playing the game, where you're like, this is a big problem. Mike can't swim. There's water filling the chamber. And then it just stops. After having gone through a ton of false exits, when you got here, you probably thought that this was another one.
Remember, when you're speedrunning in this game, do not forget to get the crystal ball.
Yep.
We have a $10 donation from Radman and Lucario. Just got home from my 3rd shift job. Should be asleep now, but with this hype NES block, I'm gonna try and stay awake for it all. Good luck to all the runners and have a good day 3, everyone. Also, Oregon Trail bonus game, yes please.
Yeah, Skybills is running that. She's really good, so definitely should donate for that.
And I endorse staying up for the NES block, very much so. Or getting up early.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna have something. We're gonna have some cross-dressing coming up right here.
Not just for fun, though.
No.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
So yeah, the reasoning is that this town only allows women in it, so he has to. We have to dress Mike up as a girl so that he can even go into the town.
And then they think she's from Radicola.
He makes for a very pretty girl.
Yes.
If you talk to, if you talk to the man that's outside of Shikola, he goes on about how beautiful the queen is, or how supposedly beautiful the queen is, and then you meet the queen.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
But you get the shooting star, and that's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you have to talk to the head warrior to get the trigger to actually open up to move on.
Right. If you don't talk to this warrior here, then you can't progress through the next part of the dungeon.
We got a $20 donation from Anonymous that says, you guys worry about the times, we'll worry about the fundraising. Also, Wind Waker Pajama Run hype.
All right, so coming up into this next dungeon, what that head warrior told us to do was to jump 10 times on this switch that we're about to see, then shout abracadabra. So I need everybody in the chat to post abracadabra when I jump the 10th time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Abracadabra!
It worked. Amazing.
Oh, it worked.
This is the dungeon where all these octots and enemies have high values to them, so you only gain like 500 points for beating the chapter or the dungeon.
It's actually completely fixed. I forget what the number is, but you always get the same number of points, regardless if you kill the minimum or if you kill like 70 enemies. It's always the same. There's the one exception to the usual rule for points.
Though this dungeon has the highest drop rate out of any of them to allow you to actually be able to use the shooting star in case you weren't able to fill up your health with those 2 permanent health drops on the screen at the beginning.
And the shooting star is very important for this stage. You lose a lot of time if you don't have it, because you do kill a lot of enemies, and it's half as many hits. And
there was a heart container we could have gotten that would have allowed me to take 1 heart of damage and still keep the shooting star. I need 6 hearts for it, but that takes too long to get, so we skip it.
What, you don't like getting the heart?
But the shooting star really does make those guys pretty trivial, which is, and everything else in this dungeon, which is why we want to make
Now
sure not to lose it.
The skulls in this game have a kind of predictable thing. It's kind of like a diagonal hand. You do this with your hand. If they're facing that way, they'll go, and if they're facing left, that means the skulls can go down or left, and they're facing right, they can go right or up. Same with the octots or anything that can only face one direction.
Now this room has some enemies that are pretty trolly. They like to jump on squares that you're on.
Yep.
You can do nothing about it.
The frappas.
Frappas are bad.
They're
But a
bad.
pretty good pattern here.
That was very
That was
That
easy.
was a really good pattern.
I usually have
exactly.
to kill at least one of them.
Yeah, that's...
That was a troll pattern, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jump too early.
That's all right. You can get Zoda can just pick up some hearts right here, so it's not a big deal. Just a little bit of a time loss to get them.
Oh. I did not know you could make that without getting the time.
I didn't
That-
either. That was really sick.
That was. I almost missed that. I think it's like a 3 or 4 frame window, and that was the last frame.
A
That was
third
fast.
frappa can form there, but it doesn't count toward the opening up the door, so that's why he stays in the middle to left-hand side.
So in this one, we're looking to kill the middle eyeball to open the door of the initial pattern that you see of them. And
Let's see if we get a good... do you think we're going to get a good Taurus Bulba pattern?
I don't know. He hasn't been cooperating in practice, so we'll see.
Let's see here.
Yes!
Yes!
Okay.
Good pattern.
we want him to walk up so that we can just maintain walking speed to get to the switch. Sometimes he'll walk left, and then you're gonna have to either like kill him is probably the optimal way.
Or just wait for him.
Yeah.
Either one. Either way, it wastes time.
That was.
Yeah,
I
that-
almost
yeah,
walked up
yes,
too soon there.
Yes, I noticed that. Those guys take 6 hits, so it's kind of like a buffering thinking start. You're thinking 5 hits hearing. Because you don't want to do any extra hits, because that's an extra throw, and Mike pauses when he throws, so you're actually losing time if you do too many hits, too many throws.
And I think that's the first time you ever have an entrance to a wall where it doesn't have the shadow on the ground to let you know it's there. You just kind of have to
Guess.
guess or like walk around and wonder, oh, I see you. You can go here, but I wonder how you get there, and you have to try things.
Right.
All right, so that was a fun first half of StarTropics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
was-
now we're about... okay, should we try reading the scroll?
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear, no.
I can't
All right.
read. I can't read it as fast as the text is gonna go.
So,
Yeah.
so run, hurry,
try if
hurry
you
here.
want.
Run,
Yeah,
hurry,
yeah.
hurry.
Even Mike wants to go fast.
Beba boba booma. Nope.
Yeah.
Papa oo mau mau. Papa
Get
oo
up.
mau.
I read the words get up.
Yeah.
Put down that banana cream pie.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
best story.
come on. She's Bananette. Why wouldn't she want a banana cream pie? And the town full of island people apparently can repair a submarine, so props to that.
Yeah. Get ready for the most hype chapter of your life coming up.
This is the best chapter in the game. It's Zoda's
it-
favorite.
It's very difficult. I might game over. We'll see.
We have
All
a
right.
$30 donation from Anonymous that just says, my favorite NES game and my favorite charity. How could I not donate? Thank you, Anonymous. We appreciate it.
I can just I'll be
Yeah,
back.
I was going to say, I just got the worst look from Darkwing for saying that. In all actuality, this is the worst chapter in the game, and we wish we could skip it.
Yes.
But otherwise, this is the best chapter. It has the best music, it has no dungeons, and it takes like 5 minutes to get
Yeah,
through.
yeah. There's nothing to fight, no boss, nothing. It's just you sail around for a while.
And
It has,
Instead-
has an amazingly huge lighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
The person-sized Bic lighter, exactly.
Instead, we get to go through a pointless whale.
Yes.
Pointless.
And this is where the the letter part is, and there's I can't think of one redeeming thing about this chapter.
I mean, and you have to talk to Babu
And you have to
again.
talk to
so-
Babu.
Yeah,
again, I
there you
mean-
go. Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Oh, here's the one redeeming thing about this chapter. It tells you not to smoke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Babu's like, I'm going to give it up smoking. And,
Yeah.
I think that's once you're already done. He says
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The twist side to that is after he says I'm going to quit smoking, he leaves the lighter with you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We have a $20 donation from Terrence Bratton. It says, first time seeing the stream ever, really enjoying it, and hope to see more very good games. Thank you, Terrence.
Yeah, if you've got more, this is a good place for donations
Yeah.
because it's pointless whale. So
And I don't have to listen to the music as much in my headset.
And of course, I've got 2 left on the screen. We got a $35 donation from Tapris. It says, first time donating for this amazing event. Shout out to Team PLC's own Mecha Richter for the insane Molly Mallard run, Velociraptor for being in attendance, and of course everyone involved for making this event what it is today. So thank you, Tapris, for that $35 donation.
yeah, thank you, Tapris. Tapris is a good dude. He's in my stream a lot.
So Mike just put that lighter that's bigger than he is inside his pocket, so,
Yep.
That's normal.
This game really is Zelda 1.
We got a $50 donation from Anonymous that just says, good luck, Zoda. I believe in the 103. 0 hands hype.
I think everybody on the couch knows who that was.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nadua.
Thanks, Nadua.
103 boys.
Got another $10 donation from Anonymous. It says, first time watching StarTropics. Thanks to Nadua for getting me into this game. Keep up the great work, guys.
Yeah, Nadua is another runner of this game and has found a few strats in this that save a lot of time. We'll talk about them later on.
So Babu just brought the letter up. And so if you had the letter, you'd have to actually put water on it like we were saying earlier. And then you'd get the 747 code.
It's actually 353.
It's actually 353, yeah.
Yeah.
I was-
3 down, 5 up, 3 down.
I am very relieved that I got that code first
Yeah.
try.
We have a $150 donation from Herfa Durfa.
Oh,
It says, what's up, guys? Hope you're all having a great time at SGDQ. Had to wake up early to make sure I would watch one of the best NES games with some of the best Twitch streamers playing couching. Money goes to runner's choice. Run, run, hurry, hurry.
Thanks,
good
Harfa.
one. Good
That-
one, Herfa.
All right, so this is actually my favorite chapter in this game, really.
Yeah, I
And-
really like this one.
Really?
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and, well, I mean,
dungeon-wise.
it's the running gag in my in my chat, like because we've got the lewd parrot.
The lewd parrot, yeah.
I have an emote based around it. I mean, come on.
We have a lewd bird. There's actually an Easter egg here. If you tell this guy no, you don't want to learn about fishing, he asks you if your name is Nestor.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Nestor from the Nintendo
right.
Power Comics.
This is my. If Chapter 4 didn't exist, this would be my least favorite.
Well, I mean, it's not just because of lewd parrot. Like I like the dungeon too because
Yeah.
it's not so much about like going around and killing all the enemies or most of the enemies. It's puzzles and avoiding. It's more like I don't know. I just like the way that the dungeon feels different than the rest of them.
Yes,
So-
first time playing through the game, this next dungeon was probably my favorite. Like, it's the one that I enjoyed the most going through it the first time.
The storyline for this chapter, though, is ridiculous.
It makes no sense.
No.
Basically,
Not that the rest of it does, but
basically that ship that you just saw is blocking the way, and we are going to destroy it.
and
That's
the ship is like the basis of where this village is from. They founded their village
Right.
around that ship.
Yep, this is Belcola, and a British captain, Captain Bell, apparently parked his ship there to save them from something or other. So in order for us to get through, we've got to sink the ship.
And nobody can help you do that in the town except for the dumb parrot.
The lewd parrot has the answer. Yep.
And the reason that we went and got that worm first is because he won't tell us anything until we give him a gift, and that happens to be the gift.
And the chief actually tells you that the parrot has the answer to the riddle, basically.
Also, this chief sheds like half his weight from the overworld to
Yeah. And also, I like how the chief's like, I don't know, like, oh, I got a messenger bird from another chief to talk to you. Oh, I don't know if I can trust you. Can I? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. You can say no, and
All
it's
right.
just.
Here comes the best
comes
line
the-
in the game.
Here's lewd parrot.
Do me so far, do me.
Do me so far, do me.
lewd bird.
So it's not actually supposed to be loot, obviously.
No.
It's actually a musical puzzle, and you'll see what it's about here in about a minute.
This puzzle is one of my favorite puzzles that I've seen in a game. I just thought
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
It is really good.
I'll take this as an opportunity to just say we are sponsored by Tiny Build, who is an indie developer and publisher known for games like Speedrunners, Divide by Sheep, and Lovely Planet. They just released No Time to Explain on Steam and Xbox One, and they're known for supporting and working with indie developers from around the world. You can follow them on Twitter at Tiny Build. So thank you, Tiny Build, for sponsoring us.
Now, after about, what, 10 to 15 minutes?
I think it's like 9. But yeah, it's too long.
Yeah, we might get back to a dungeon.
So basically, he's stepping on the do mi so far do mi notes here on the large organ. Giggity.
Don't fail this trick, by the way.
Yeah, because you have to leave and come back in order to reset it. So it's a big time loss if you fail.
We missed a heart container. One
Yeah.
of many.
One
Now,
of
here's
many.
a mechanic in this game. Heart containers are completely useless because if you don't get them, they'll add on to your hearts for the next chapter anyway.
Yep. Yeah, the only reason to have them is to take more damage in dungeons, but it takes too long to get them, so we don't worry about it.
It was good that bat stopped. I never get it in stops. The gimmick behind this dungeon is the entire thing's just built with traps that you're trying to avoid.
Which is one of the reasons why I really like this one, is because I like that mechanic, because it doesn't really happen anywhere else. So you get like the arrows you gotta avoid, and you have to have large bowling balls you have to avoid. Well, they're probably not supposed to really be bowling balls, but
Well, they got the holes
They got
in
the
them.
They got the
Holes, yeah.
holes in them, yeah.
I mean, maybe they are supposed to be bowling balls. I don't know. It just seems weird, but
It's a very Indiana Jones style
Yeah.
Exactly.
idea.
Mike's last name is even Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, that
They,
means
they
that
really
makes
try to push it.
his uncle is Dr. Jones. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Ah, missed the last 4-frame save.
Now we're coming up soon to a lake that I like to avoid enemies in by jumping in it. And remember, Mike can't swim, so that's usually a bad thing. Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't jump in the lake to avoid the bat.
Yeah.
And so this is the first bowling ball. Now, bowling balls are instant death if they touch you, so don't.
They're instant death if you touch them, too.
Yes, so
Even if
don't.
they're at a standstill. Makes perfect sense.
So then, of course, since we have mirrors, we have whiz robes, but we have skeletons.
Ooh, bad luck.
Yeah, you
Yep.
get a bad spawn on that one.
Oh,
Oh, what?
What was that?
that was me firing like 1 frame too late.
Yeah.
That's a problem, because now we don't have the shooting star anymore.
Yep.
So it takes longer to do these.
And in this room, you have to kill all the snakes to progress.
See, you mocked me jumping in the lake.
Yeah, I know.
Fortunately, this dungeon does not have very many things to kill.
Yeah.
So if there is a place where you're going to lose the shooting star, that's the one.
Right, and then it's pretty generous with the refills too, so you don't usually lose it for too long.
This is a very repeating pattern area until you do something right here.
Yep. And that last room, it always tends to throw me off because when you have those, just those
Yeah, you
blocks like
assume
that,
that
you
it's
assume
a
they're
sinking
they're
stone,
sinking stone rooms.
but
I
it's not.
always tend to pause there for a minute when I don't need to. But and then this here,
Don't need. Usually, I damage boost through those 2 silver balls, but we don't need to lose any more health than I already have.
and so I don't think you could at that point. I think you'd die.
I could have afforded a damage boost. I think I would have been left with like half a heart,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's silly.
Yeah.
In this part of the level.
There's a forced hesitation there, so you don't hit that sinking platform.
Yep.
This game loves to kill you in unique ways.
Yes.
Yeah, those of you who have played it casually have probably encountered the room in the first dungeon where you just immediately enter the room and fall in the water and die. It loves to do stuff like that to you.
The heat-seeking bowling ball.
Yep.
Now, the only time you actually have to use the mirrors.
But they give you 80 of them, so, you know.
Yeah.
Don't lose them.
Right.
I don't know if we have enough.
Yeah, that was a close call.
Anybody want to sing the lyrics?
I'm not going to sing the lyrics, but I'm probably going to do what I always do when I play this game anyway. So, so shout out to Captain Bell for building a mechanic to sink his own ship.
Yeah.
And peace be with you, boat. God save the urn.
God save the urn. Except it's already dead. But that's besides the point.
And this is why I ran this game 4 years ago and not now.
We got a $30 donation from Anonymous that says, I'm missing man versus game for this. Oh well, keep up the great work. One love.
I think you made the right choice.
I agree.
So now we're actually getting back into really quick chapter, dungeons. You actually get into them fairly quickly. And 6 is widely considered one of the best chapters.
It's
got a-
definitely my favorite chapter to speedrun.
It's got a lot of good tech.
There's
yeah.
a lot of very technical rooms.
Unfortunately, we don't get to go to the best island in this entire game.
No.
Because it's slow. Is that How Do You Do Island?
How do you do island? Yeah. I was thinking more about the apple.
Oh yeah,
That's true,
the
it's
apple, the pointless apple.
If you go down on this choice of where to dive, you get a big apple, which is like a heart container, except it's an apple. And it doesn't do anything. You eat it, and you get the perfect text box. It's delicious, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
We got a $5 donation from Doc Marm that says, put this money towards the Oregon Trail Run. How fast do you want to travel? Set a grueling pace. We also have a $50 donation from Anonymous that just says NES forever. Thank you, Anonymous.
Knows what's up.
So which way? Which way?
Oh, south.
Should we make it south?
should
So
make
we
it
see
south.
south?
I was going to say west myself.
So Zoda's going through this
Well, got a
actually in a
majority.
specific pattern, though, so he avoids the nav robot telling him every few spaces like which way to go. So,
And if you push any one of the D-pad directions when you dive there's that little window frame there where you actually resurfaces and you see its sprite.
yeah, the sub-C will be pointing the direction you held the controller at. And this is one of my favorite tracks in the game right here. It's really good.
Chapter 6 is really fun to run, but it's really dangerous in
Yeah, it is.
most of its rooms at the same time.
It
Most
incorporates
everything
the new item where you can jump 2 spaces,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
The ankle bracelet.
Yep, right there.
A little bit of bad luck there.
Yeah, you got kind of a troll pattern.
It's
Have to
very
be-
important to have the shooting star here.
I had to be very careful walking past those blue mummies to make sure that I wasn't ever on the same column that they were.
Right, because they would just...
Otherwise, they will walk down and hit you.
Okay, for some reason, yeah,
Second
that Octot, like, sometimes you just won't hit it with the shooting star, and then so you have to keep throwing it at it until you do.
This is my favorite room.
This room
This
is,
is a
yeah.
fun room.
Zoda's so good at this room. Ooh, yeah, that troll power up.
The star drop. Almost.
Got it.
Nice job.
So this is
And-
Turboss.
My most hated boss of the game.
Giant Turboss is essentially just a reskin of Octo the Huge, but for some reason it's harder to kill.
And he's trollier.
Even though he takes like the same number of hits, like or less actually.
So,
but-
yep, so there's the
That-
one cycle, which is really good.
Very good. That was very good luck. He
Yeah,
came down almost
he-
immediately.
He came down really quick. You got really good, yeah, good RNG there. Those guys tend to drop a lot of,
Yeah.
especially health drops. Like, seems like they're more drop heavy than a lot of the other things in the game.
By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned this. You see the stars icon? I have 3 of them in the bottom right. 5 stars give you 1 heart. That's it.
Yep.
And in the speedrun, it's very rare that you actually get 5 stars, and they reset to 0 after every single level.
The problem with it in a speedrun is that oftentimes you will be, trying to kill something, and a star will drop from a different enemy, and your yo-yo or the shooting star will pick up the item that takes priority, and it won't do damage to what you're trying to kill. So you have to try and be really careful if something drops in the middle of a fight.
That's why we were kind of cringing at the mummies there, because that star dropped and Zoda had to do an extra shot to kill the mummy. And then this dungeon also incorporates the cleats there that are really overpowered.
The
They're
OP
awesome.
cleats. Nice room.
The reason why I kill a couple of those mummies with the shooting star is to make that last cleat use animation a lot shorter. Probably saves like a second.
Now let's see if Broken Joe's going to be trolly or not.
And the horsehide has only one use, this boss.
Yep.
Can't hit anything else, and this is only susceptible to it.
Oh, nice. Oh, really nice.
Ah,
Oh,
you didn't give me the
oh,
good pattern.
No.
That's still
Still,
alright.
Still a
it's
good
still a
fight,
good
though, yeah.
2-cycle, though.
The best pattern is if after he shoots out the snakes, he'll just open his mouth for a minute and just leave it there. So
And then you
if
can
he does
one-cycle
that, then
him.
you can one cycle him.
Exactly. But he can also troll you and not open his mouth for a while and just sit there and spin in a circle.
Yeah.
So it was still it wasn't the best pattern, but it was still pretty good because he opened his mouth right away.
We have a $30 donation from Oliver Hine, also known as Crazy Bug. Hey guys, love you running all these awesome games for a good cause. And don't forget, run, run, hurry, hurry, StarTropics hype. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Oliver.
Only chapter in the game where you do not go straight ahead at the beginning.
And once again, this game really likes to trick you with false exits or paths, so as to make you play through unnecessary things and more than likely take more than your health away by the time you get to the real path.
Shurikens are a pretty awesome weapon.
Probably my favorite, I would guess. Only in
it's-
this dungeon, though.
Unfortunately, it's a fun weapon.
It is fun.
Now, you didn't want to kill the flies there, both of them, because if you killed them, it would open a secret room to the left that we don't need to go through, so it's just wasting time if we do that.
And another Zelda-like mechanic, these little bubble things are just like the bubbles from Zelda 1, where you
Except they
Worse.
take, yeah, they're worse because they make you unable to use your weapons for even longer than in Zelda 1.
It's true.
And they also take away all your weapons, not just your sword.
That's true. Yeah.
Or in this case, yeah. That room is by far one of the worst.
Fortunately,
rooms
that's
in
the only room in the game where bubbles are a threat.
First clay dot, pretty trivial. But Zoda's like really good at killing those, so.
Now this one we do need to kill all of the enemies in here.
Oh, really nice pattern too. Yeah, ultimately you want to be able to kill that last one when you're right at the door, so you can just walk through the door real quick and save the most time, which is exactly what he did.
Here they make you think you need to do a lot to kill all those enemies, but you just need to go through the next room.
The strat that I do on this next boss is kind of risky. If either of these two guys contact me, it's insta-kill.
Very
Wow,
nice.
very nice.
And now we have the actual final boss.
The actual
But
final
wait,
boss.
there's more.
Yeah.
The actual trivial final boss of this dungeon.
One of the easiest bosses in the game, though. They only take 10 hits.
Yep.
But you have to hit them simultaneously to do it fast. Sometimes one of the shots just won't do damage to one of them, so you'll kill one head and not the other. But it's rare when that happens.
Now
Wow,
you
you've done it.
Wow, you've done.
Now you saw in that boss a little bit of a interesting mechanic on this game. While Mike is damaged and in his invulnerability state, he actually fires at a slower rate. So it's better if you do not get hit in that battle. Sometimes it's unavoidable because the double shots can spread enough to where you can't fully jump over them. This will be important for some of the bosses coming up to not get hit.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'll kill you.
Oh, hey, look,
know.
it's our uncle.
It's Dr. Jones.
We saved him. Sort of.
Sort of.
And this is the best part coming up here. Since we're going through it so fast, basically he's telling you that this alien race destroyed another alien race and they escaped with their last life pod to Earth. And you have to go stop this evil alien race with advanced technology with just you and your yo-yo.
So, responsible adult number, what, 12,000?
Yeah,
That sends
yeah.
you off to go do this instead of doing it himself.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. Have fun.
Yeah. I have my yo-yo.
Yeah.
Of course.
The one time in the game where you don't actually have to put an input.
Exactly. All right, so this next chapter, the first dungeon, has our least favorite spot in the entire game.
Yes.
It's
The
fun.
bottle-
It's
the
the bottle.
bottleneck.
It's fun.
As
No,
you probably been noticing, most of the dungeons have been very linear. This one is very non-linear, so
And they
we're
expect
gonna,
you to not
Yeah,
take the...
there are a lot of power-ups which make this level a lot easier, and we're just gonna skip most of them.
Yeah, because they're all ridiculously out of the way, and we're trying to go fast, so we skip basically all the power-ups, and there's
Good
just a
job.
section
Spawns,
that's
yeah.
really, really difficult without the power-ups.
Best music in the game, though.
It's good.
In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
I hit that guy just to manipulate his shot pattern so that he doesn't hit me, because I want all my health for this part.
Oh,
Ooh, that was...
he gave you the bad shot pattern, but it was
That's not good.
Oh, we look
So
fine.
this is the bottleneck,
Uh-oh.
and this is why it sucks.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
We got a problem.
yeah.
Shooting star is gone. I have to get lucky now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're in good Oh, that's bad.
I had no choice but to try and dodge there,
Yeah.
and their hitboxes were so large.
Yeah.
We pretty much need... You don't have to have it, but, like, doing that without the shooting star is ridiculously difficult because of how often those enemies appear.
And they double. If you're doubled, you cannot kill them.
And you can't kill them because they take 2 hits with the yo-yo versus 1 hit with the shooting star.
And they're too fast to hit 4 times in the yo-yo's range.
Yep.
Because of that previous room where you have to jump down with those 4 aliens, it's widely considered the worst room in the game just because there's a ton of RNG involved in trying to get past everything here.
Really?
Wow. This is the trolliest of troll
Yes.
rooms, too.
Yes.
I mean,
And
Oh yeah,
and then there's that.
There's
There's
absolutely
that.
nothing you can do there.
Nope.
This is a very, very common place for runs to end.
Yes.
As you can probably tell.
Well, maybe as a mood lifter, we got a $50 donation from Zodastone that says greetings from Sweden and keep up the good work. So, yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
He tried to trick me by delaying that shot.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
There we go. We're
Yeah,
in there
that's a
now.
more common
That's-
Yeah,
pattern.
we're in there now. Okay.
Yeah, that's a more recognizable pattern.
Still not a guarantee, though.
No, it's not, but
The reason you go up to the middle lane here is that these guys can spawn on you or one above or below you. And if you're at the bottom, they can only do one above or on you, so you get fewer of them on your line if you go to the top middle row.
Good kill on the first one.
Get down here, you jerk.
nice.
Very random boss.
Yeah. Not fun.
You
All right,
ready?
That's not this one yet.
You don't do this one?
No.
No, it's not yet.
Oh, well, you do it the next
Yeah.
part. Yeah,
Because it's not overly long,
Yeah,
nor
that's
is it
true.
maze-like.
That's true.
Yeah. And there's a hallway.
Still, he hasn't given me the say-so yet, so I'm not doing
Oh,
it.
you have the say-so.
Oh, there you go.
I have to warm up my vocal cords. Do, mi, so, fa, do, mi.
There you go. Nice. So you had a loot parrot and a loot duck now. I mean, great.
We got a $10 donation from Tomtonite that just says StarTropics is one of my favorite games. So awesome seeing someone beast it like this.
So when he got that magic cube, it gave him the supernova weapon upgrade, which requires your entire top row of hearts. So he'll be using it now.
It is a really nice weapon because it travels across the entire screen.
But it's slower than this gun he just picked up, even though it
Right.
does more damage.
Right, so I'm going to be, because of that, I'm going to be switching back and forth a lot between the two weapons.
Good pattern.
Yep.
And basically, this entire dungeon has a whole bunch of health refills, so we just try to run past as many things as possible and hope we don't die.
Are we going to get all four? Are we going to get all four? I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Nope. Got
Two.
two.
Two. Getting all four is so satisfying. Just
If I have close to full health here, I would skip getting this item, which, by the way, is awesome.
Vitamin X.
Overmaxes your health and turns Mike pink.
drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah. And since you don't have full health yet, what it'll do is it'll drain itself down to your max hearts eventually. But until it does that, you've got more than your total health for a little while, which is nice.
These guys are big trolls. They like to stand just to the
Corner
corner
of
of you and not move anywhere else.
Fortunately, as I mentioned, this level has a lot of health refills.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to get the best gun in the game, the spread gun. It deals a ton of damage, but has a very short range.
Yep. There is a little bit of RNG as far as when he starts firing his shots, and he fired early there, which made it not really possible for me to get a very quick kill in on him. Sometimes if you get a good pattern, you can kill him before he even reaches the bottom of the screen for the first time.
And you'll see that
One hit. Okay, you're good.
You'll see that gun get revisited here at the final boss of this dungeon in another quick kill as well. Which
Yeah,
is
this
really
quick
slick.
kill is the one that we mentioned with Nadua. He found a strat here that totally gets past this boss.
It is
And
pretty
it-
precise, but we'll see.
Got it.
All right,
Yep.
we got it. Yep. Shoutouts to Nadua. coming with that strat. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah,
Essentially,
it's very precise.
you have to. The spread gun will do two. You have to do 2 shots to push him back. The shooting or the supernova does 3, and the ray gun does 4.
Oh wait, what's this on the screen?
Wow, you've done it.
We see hallways, we see mazes.
Yes, they're just too long.
How long
They're
are they?
Just too well. They're just filler, you know, to make the game longer. Overly long maze like hallways. 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 They're just too long. They're just filler to make the game longer. Overly long maze like hallways. Overly long maze like hallways. Overly long maze like hallways. There's not many lyrics to this song. It's just too long. It's just filler to make this speedrun longer. Is 2 rounds enough? I mean,
Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you.
They live up to their name. If you run out of singing power before you get to the end,
Yeah.
they are too long.
So another thing Zodastone did here was beat the asteroid boss with full health, so that when he got this health boost, he gets the least amount of health refill here possible and
the
saves
worst
time.
health up boost in any game ever.
Right, because it fills your hearts here, and then you start chapter 8 with your 3 heart.
Yep.
So it's like it was pointless to fill your hearts there.
Lost time for nothing.
All right.
I hope to hear some donations because I did that.
I hope we should have some more come in for that. But we do have a $30 donation from Maydog6. It says, out of the 776 NES games in my collection, StarTropics is definitely in the top 50. Love the NES spot. Thought it was kind of weird that he said top 50, not
Yeah.
like top 5
Yeah.
or top 3.
Right?
All right,
Well,
how many hands? How many hands?
Oh yeah, predict how many hands here.
I'm going to say 7. 5. 2. Oh, 2. Wow, he's.
Can I make the chat mods hate me and say I want to see a bunch of one hands in chat?
1 hand is always mine.
My personal prediction will be 4 hands.
What did I say? I said 6.
He's a 6, yeah. I'm going with 1 hand.
I'm gonna go with 3.
It's 50-50, I think. On whether or not you get a head or a hand here.
No,
Alright, we got a
starting
head.
off good.
That's good.
You only have to hit him once. He only takes 1 damage per appearance. You can hit him several times, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
All right,
there's
1 hand. Oh,
2.
2. All right.
Actually, it would be this for them to see it.
So what? I forget what is it, like a
3.
3-second loss every time he does it, or
It's like
2?
4, I think.
Yeah.
There is some randomness.
Yeah.
Sometimes the game just takes longer to load.
Also
the head of
depends
the
on
hand
the
spreads when it
hand.
switches.
3
Oh, I
hands.
was right.
Yeah.
Yes, I win. I win nothing.
So basically, this final stage is a 3-part boss rush. That was the first one. Next, we have to fight the engine core of the spaceship.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yep, it's in the engine core. Obviously, it's an inanimate core object, but you have all sorts of things attacking you while you're trying to damage the core. So it's an interesting boss fight. And then, of course, you've got Zoda Prime, the final form of that boss we just fought.
We got a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, greetings from Spain. Thanks for helping so many people. Keep it up, and good luck to all the runners. Thank you, Anonymous.
Oh, only 1
Good.
star.
Only 1 star. That's rare. We got
Oh,
1
one
cycle core.
cycle,
Nice.
yes.
Very nice. All right. Should explain timing now, you think?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so timing on this game, we're actually going to end time on the kill of Zoda because there's an uncontrollable glitch that can happen here.
Which means it's coming up soon, by the way.
So the glitch he's
Okay.
talking about. Sometimes if you kill Zoda, the game will just instantly end, and It depends on how many of those things he spits and how many are on the screen at a time when he does it. So rather than attempt to control it, we just wow. That's dangerous because if Zoda bodies you, it's instant death.
Time.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
And we got the glitch ending. Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Even better.
But we missed the good music though.
Yeah, we missed the good music. So what that does is it warps you straight to the credits. Instead, what we normally have to do is walk back to the hut at the end of the game. But because of this glitch, we can't control in the first 4 seconds of that fight how many of those spider things that he
Seemed
spits
like you
out.
got 2, though. That was kind of weird that you got it.
It's only if there's 2 out at a time, though.
I think so,
rather
yeah,
than
because it
total.
happened to me at, I think at Scrub-a-thon.
So as long as there's only
Okay.
1 at a time and you kill it in time, then you're still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the time, by the way? Yeah. Considering I died 3 times, that's not that bad.
Cool.
All right.
Too bad we don't get the music.
Yeah, the credits music is really
I
good.
could
in
I
this.
could
Very
sing
good.
instead, but we probably don't want that.
And we do still get the bananas in the ears picture. Which
We do
is
get bananas
awesome.
in the ears.
We do have a $100 donation from Madrigal. It says, all year long I think about GDQ passing by a place called Frames Unlimited on my way to the office. This time of the year has finally come. Keep it up and kill them animals.
All right, then.
Keep it canon, boys.
All right, that's not what the letter actually looks like. It's much smaller on the bottom part, but you know. Ugh.
And there's Lewd Parrot.
Yeah, these are just pictures of the
Story that you went
story
through.
that you went
Yep.
through. The
The Adventures of Mike Jones.
Jones. Bowling
That,
ball.
that mouth, that's just perfect.
Yeah. No salute there.
Hey, we already gave it the salute.
Okay, all right.
It got its proper salute. We're good.
Okay, that's the beginning of chapter 6, going down to find your uncle.
We got a $50 donation from Nicholas Taylor. It says, shout outs to the overly long maze-like hallways.
There
we go. Thank you.
StarTropics.
I'm very happy that they didn't actually give those green guys laser weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have made this game tremendously harder.
Yeah.
And what's going on now? What's
What
this?
is this?
That
Yeah.
never-
Oh, yeah,
never
that never
happened.
happened.
That's never
exactly.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you don't get the glitched ending, you actually go get the 3rd cube, the ship blows up, you fall in the water, Deus Ex Dolphin happens, and you end up back on Sea Island
You also find out that Mike can actually swim
for 3 seconds.
for 3 seconds. But
There's the pick.
but he can't jump
There's
in
the
a
pick.
puddle.
Bad memories.
And there
that's
it
the
is.
end.
That's the end.
That's the end.
All right, so that was StarTropics. Thank you to the organizers for having me. Hope you enjoyed it.
Cool.
Thanks for the run, Zoda.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, just want to read a couple of donations that we got that pertain to StarTropics. We got one from Andrew Rayburn, known as Uzi, for $20. It says, overly long maze-like hallways. Of course. And then we got a $30 donation from Anonymous that says, for that epic maze song.